Name is
Lyndon Chopa.
here. Lyndon Topa is my co-presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Lyndon Topa, it's been a quite long time, and it's good having you back. Anyway, welcome back. Yeah, where we share our views on issues relating to our country, Liberia, and we bring information to the Liberian people.
Okay, thank you all. Thank God for being back. Thanks to all of our people who have been consistently following our page. And I was on some personal obligations, so I have been off the air. And thanks to Mohammed who has been there to ensure that every other thing was well done. And so basically, that is all I can say for now.
Okay, you kind of like, are you not excited to be here this morning? You
Well, I'm very excited. One of the things that excites me the most is the fact that we are gearing up towards our nation Independence Day celebration, and there are lots of things. They the country is there is a jam traffic at this point in time. There is a jam traffic now. There are lots of things that are happening here now. People are very interested. People are very interested. They want to see what Liberia. But in to be very honest, it is a kind of society that we try to do. And, the generations and generations come, we will try to do something very positive.
okay? Thank you, Kaylin. Don't talk about. I'm still not getting a real Lyndon Topa that is always on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. The voice is kind of weakened. Is it because the country is hard and Independence Day celebration, no money? What is it? Tell me. I'm saying anything else,
It is
but
not. It is not about anything.
now I'm getting your voice.
Currently, my voice has been, my voice has been altered on the basis of the weather condition.
Okay.
The weather has not been very favorable to my health condition, so that could be one of the reasons why I'm not sounding the regular way I normally sound.
Okay, that's nice. At least I got you a little bit. I got you. But I know later on you will open up. So, looking at our country Independence Day celebration as we get towards tomorrow, what do you have to say to our viewers who are watching us as it relates to our Independence Day celebration? What are some of the things you feel we can do as a citizen of Liberia as we approach 176 years?
Oh, okay. One of my cautions that I have for all other Liberians, including me, is the fact that uh, aside from the Independence Day celebration, we have a very important process, and this is the process that is about the future of our country, Liberia, and it has to do with the electionary process. We should always remain that. We should always remember that Liberia is all that we have. We need to work cooperatively to ensure that we can be able to maintain the peace, protect our sovereignty, and maintain our independence as a nation as well.
Yes, thank you, Kaylin, on Topa for being back again, and I'm really sorry for the weather condition. You know, we are in rainy season here in Liberia, and I'm hoping that you can adapt soon. But how being it, try to, just flow with whatever the weather brings to you, right? So, folks, this is how we resume on our daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We just had a gist in conversation with my co-presenter, and his name is Kaylin Nontopa, and I am your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. My name is Greg Financy Par. So let's look at our revision of newspaper here in studio. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, we have the New Down newspaper, we have the Front Page Africa newspaper, we have the Independent Probe, along with our international news and our sources for today. It's just one. We have ABC News. So before we proceed, I want to say happy pre-Independence Day to all of our fellow Liberians. If you are watching from the diaspora, happy pre-Independence Day. This is a time that we sit as citizens of Liberia to reflect on the past and bring the positive things to the present. This is a time that we put our collective thoughts together and push forward. Forget about politics. Just let it lie for a special moment as we approach this Independence Day celebration. And let's bring peace to the table. Let's talk about reconciliation. Let's put our differences aside and press toward a successful new year as we begin as a country because we are celebrating our independence tomorrow. We encourage you to keep your children home as we all know the time we are facing within our country come October 10th will be our election. Keep the children home. If you are a family person, try at least to make that day for your family chore or party or home party for your children. Bring up an educative game for your children. Spend time with your family that day. So this is how we take a short break. When we get back, we run straight there into our headlines and the news in details. But until then, I am your presenter, Greg Financy Pride, on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Please stay with me. Thanks for watching. I will be right back in a short time. Thank you. Welcome back again, folks. Welcome back to Focal Online TV, where I bring you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Focal Online TV is located in the Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway. You are Focal TV. We are open towards sponsorship on our shows, and we are also open for business deals. If you have a business, you want us to do advertisement, whatever you want, we are here for you. Focal TV brings innovation to broadcasting. So this morning, today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Today is the eve of our Independence Day celebration. I'm saying happy pre-Independence Day to us Liberians for upholding our peace, for upholding our country during this crucial time of the year. I'm saying happy Independence Day. May God bless our motherland. May this year celebration help us to reflect and push towards a good ending. At this time, we'll move over to our news headlines in the news in details. This is from the Daily Observer newspaper. AML's pillage poses grave threat to farmers in Nimba. AML's pillage poses grave threat to farmers in Nimba. The news in details. A spillage of a chemical from a waste facility operated by ArcelorMittal Liberia (AML) has populated or has polluted water sources in Yekepa, Nimba County. The situation, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, is depriving villagers of their livelihood and has resulted in a eutrophic condition leading to overgrowth and vegetation. Contaminated sewage from the steel giant, the EPA said, was directly discharged in wetlands that border communities in its operational areas, resulting in negative consequences. The situation, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, is depriving villagers of their livelihood and has resulted in a eutrophic condition leading to overgrowth and vegetation. The sewage discharge resulted in microbial proliferation, causing a corresponding negative impact on surface water quality. EPA Executive Director Wilson Tapper disclosed. The sewage discharge has resulted in a eutrophic condition leading to overgrowth of vegetation. This has impacted the productivity of certain crops planted within the wetland. Tapper noted that the EPA has found that the discharge has created a condition that is unfavorable and unhealthy for farmers using the wetlands. The portion of the wetland impacted spans from the point of discharge to the point of confluence. Tapia said as he gave a sense of the spatial extent and magnitude of pollution. The team of EPA technicians had on June 2nd visited AML facility, that is the Accelerated Liberia facility in Yekepa, to investigate the sewage spillage, after which a series of recommendations were preferred. The team instructed AML, Accelerated Liberia, to hire an EPA accredited third party consulting firm to develop a restoration plan and implement the same under the supervision of the agency within 60 days of the receipt of this report. That AML pays compensation to all affected farmers for damages caused to crops due to the pollution, and that the company provides an alternative livelihood for all farmers currently using the polluted portion of the wetland. AML, Accelerated Liberia, was also mandated to repair damaged sewer lines in homes reporting damages. The spillage, however, caused significant agitation within the community, leading to protests and demonstrations, as community members demanded fair compensation and the establishment of alternative livelihood sources. The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, considering the urgency of the situation on July 7, embarked on a 5-day trip to AML to ensure that recommendations were being implemented. At a consultative meeting, Tapia said that as a result of EPA intervention, the company has committed to providing immediate compensation to affected farmers for damages caused to their crops, utilizing the most recent crop price list from the Ministry of Agriculture. This decision will increase total compensation payments by $16,377, he said. Additionally, AML, that is Accelerated Liberia, has agreed to initiate alternative livelihood program in August of this year, with the EPA taking on the responsibility of closely monitoring the implementation process to ensure timely and effective execution. Other cardinal issues raised by the community are yet to be addressed, even though the EPA says it remains engaged with both parties. Meanwhile, the three affected communities have demanded the AML, Accelerated Liberia, provide them with alternative drinking water sources as well as relocation while restoration of the affected swamp or wetland is taking place. We also want AML to provide food, rice, and soup kind for over 7 plus affected communities for the period of 5 years as reparation for damaged crops upon which they depend for their livelihood. The community said we also demand that all sick persons be taken to hospitals for advanced treatment. This is how we close down on the top story as it relates to the Daily Observer newspaper. The headlines: AML's parish poses grave threat to farmers in Nimba County. We now move over to another headline under the Daily Observer newspaper. The headlines: Liberia turns 176, celebration or sober reflection. Liberia turns 176, celebration or sober reflection. The news in details. Liberia will mark the 176th anniversary of its independence on 26 July. The first independent country in Africa with 5.4 million people is blessed with abundant natural resources, but it has yet to meet the aspirations of its population and compete economy on the world stage. Liberians are not immured with July 26th independence anniversary, not just because of the country's feelings and steady descent into unbelievable anarchy, but before because such degeneration is grossly irreconcilable with her inevitable human and material resources that leaders in succession mismanage even as they desperately pretend that what is amassed is insignificant. If the years of military dictatorship and two civil wars were regarded as the years eaten by the locust, the absent descent of today, Liberia may be said to be more years eaten by the locust. On the home front, successive leaders have abandoned the dream of the premise for which Liberia was founded and replaced it with motivation of self-aggrandizement. The country is divided. People are impressive. Life and property are insecure, and life is worthless. Now and then, we witness Liberians drowning their country with so much disgust and spurring the worst kinds of invectives at the motherland. Leaders must lead well and wean themselves off the selfishness and manipulation into which they have immersed themselves. To make this country work, citizens, especially the Liberian citizens, should or must be truly Liberian by patronizing Liberia. The reality here is that we have nothing to showcase worth celebrating attaining 176 years of independence. No Liberian should be proud of our national developmental trajectory. Liberians at all levels should be well meaning enough to embark on consensual sober reflection on the state of the nation as we participate in the 2023 presidential and legislative election. We now move over to another headline. Come home, join the struggle for transformation. Come home, join the struggle for transformation. The headline: Sarah Barcelo Yanti, a presidential aspirant on the ticket of the ALL, the African Liberation League political party, and a retired UN diplomat, is pleading with Liberians residing in the diaspora to return home and join the struggle for transformation and a better Liberia. Yanti, who is also an ordained Christian minister at the Zion Grove Baptist Church in Broadway, outside Monroeville, told the party officials that it is now the time to move beyond politics, tribalism, ethnicity, and the divisive nature of their language and move towards transforming Liberia. So I am pleading with the Liberians in the diaspora to come back home and join the transformation team that will move our country forward. Wherever you are as a Liberian living around the world, Liberia needs you, she said. The former UN diplomat made this assertion on Friday, July 21st, immediately upon the arrival at the Roberts International Airport in Harbor Makibi County. Yanti said her mission outside of Liberia was to ensure that people know what the African Liberation League political party and her running mate Simeon Moba are doing to serve the people of Liberia. According to her, the all political party will rise above the take Liberians out of poverty, enabling women to educate their children and men to earn more income by providing them with a good working environment. So, the difference I am bringing to the presidential race is practical know how and experience in poverty reduction, practical experience in lifting people out of poverty. I don't know whether anyone right now in the landscape has done that before, who has been credited with establishing systems to lift people out of poverty, who has been credited with saving lives. And so, what I bring to the table is that practical experience from around the world where I have done it in other countries. So that it is good news I came with, she told Partisan at the RIA. Yanti also outlined economic empowerment, health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and security as some of her focus areas if elected president to provide the lives of Liberians. She noted that with those key areas, she believed that she can be better served that she can better serve the people of Liberia combined with her vast UN experience. This is how we move over to Lino Kietopa as it relates to our front page Africa news.
So thank you. Many thanks to Grafina Sipa for such a beautiful and eloquent presentation. We move over to front page Africa now. Murder suspects resurfaces in Gantat as police invite married couple for questioning. Murder suspect resurfaces in Gantat as police invite married couple for questioning. Ganta Nima County, a Sierra Leonean national who was accused of killing a woman at the F2 guest house in Ganta Nima County, has returned a month after the incident. Ibrahim Mohammed was then accused by the Kohu family after the body of their daughter Rita Kohu was discovered dead in the F2 guest house in Gante. Since the incident last month, Mohammed has been at large, but upon his return to Ganta Monday, he denied his involvement into the murder of Orita. The Kowu family, who also accused the Women and Children Protection Division of the Liberian National Police Commander Jenkins M. Mangood and his principal deputy Alexander Franklin of receiving 5,000 US in bribe to allow Mohammed leave the country. Since the incident occurred, police are yet to effect any arrest, but told our correspondent they are still in search of the murdered suspect. Augusta Code and non-Code relatives of the deceased openly accused their son-in-law Mohammed for having a hand in the murder of their daughter. Carver Christian University 2023 graduates urged to use knowledge acquired to contribute to Liberia's development. Carver's Christian University 2023 graduates urged to use knowledge acquired to contribute to Liberia's development. The university, formerly the Monrovia Bio College, on July 12 graduated 229 students in several disciplines, delivering the commencement address. Dr. Brabot Kunstrat called on the graduates to render their contribution to Liberia's development and prosperity in various capacities in line with their disciplines and professions. You should be very proud of yourself. You should be very proud of what you have done with God's help. I don't know each of your story. I know most of you personally, and I don't know what you have got to go through to get to this point in your life, said Reverend Tonstra, the senior pastor of Sunny Slope Christian Reformed Church in Salem, Oregon, USA. But I guess that many of you, that must be, there has been challenges along the way, said Reverend Tonstra, the senior pastors of Sunny Slope Christian Reformed Church in Salem. Reverend Tonstra, who dwelled most of his speech from the Bible, told the graduate that just as God rescued the Israelites from captivity, they are all contributed to the rebuild of their broken nations. The graduates should also use their blessings and knowledge to build Liberia. And so graduates must do the same. When you are sent from here, you must live from here as God's chosen people. You are to seek the prosperity of the city. You must work for the healing and renewal of your community. You have to work for the beauty and prosperity of Liberia and upliftment of our family, your schools, clinic, and your church. You must you must have in mind that God is with you. Jesus is what you need to preserve when your work seems impossible. Be a faithful person and remember that you are not alone. The event held at the Greater Refuge Cathedral in Odious Kangatan was attended by scores of people, including national and international guests, as well as parents and graduates. Also speaking, Pastor Chet Lodge of the Calvary Chapter, South Bay, California, called on the graduates not to sit idle, but seek opportunity to make better use of their education. Presidential aspirant of African Liberation League, Sarah Beslow Yanti, promises to lift Liberia from starvation. Madam Yanti, a former deputy special representative of the United Nations in South Sudan, who arrived in the country from the sub-region over the weekend, told a gathering of supporters that she will focus on providing basic social services to Liberians when elected as president of Liberia. But Adamsi said lifting Africa odious republic out of poverty will require the help of all Liberians, home and abroad, and not just the president of the country, as she assured her supporters that she will be committed to reducing poverty in Liberia. It's time for us to move above politics and move towards transforming the nations. And all of us are required to transform this nation wherever you are around the world. Liberia needs to come home and join Liberia's Liberation League to transform this country, she said, amid applause from her supporters. According to her, the manifesto of the African Liberation League Party is aimed at lifting Liberians out of poverty. Liberians can be lifted out of poverty regardless of political affiliations and social status. Our manifestos for this country demonstrate our desire to see the empowerment of women and youth. And as we release our manifesto, we release to you dreams and aspirations we have for the people of Liberia and the Cape Mount to Cape Palmas, she asserted. She promised the partisans and Liberians that if elected as president, her administration will ensure that every Liberian will rise and ensure that poverty is kicked out of Liberia. Continuing, she stated, she will move about poverty. Women will send their children to school. Men will have money in their pocket to take care of their families. We will be lifted together, not one person, but all. So that is the shift and a conclusion of the Front Page Africa newspaper. Back to Grafina for the continuation of local news.
Thank you, Kaylin. And so far, we now move over to the New Dawn newspaper. The headlines: Food poisoning leaves over 30 persons hospitalized. food poisoning leaves over 30 persons hospitalized. Health authorities at the Jackson Federal Memorial Referral Hospital in Tapata, Nimba County have admitted over 30 persons as a result of food poisoning. There has been no death reported. The victims said to be communal farmers at a goat soup last ate a goat soup last Friday, 21st July in Joba Yawanson Administrative District in Electoral District Number 9, Nimba County. About 28 of them are members of a farming union locally known as KU, while more than 5 others are from the same family, who are believed to have eaten some of the food that was allegedly prepared by a man only identified as Josiah and his wife. Owners of the farm, they had gone to work. The couple previously lived in Tapata but later relocated in Joba town in District Number 9 where they are involved in farming. The new town gathered that among those hospitalized are 2 pregnant women whose conditions are reportedly critical. Some of the victims narrated that Josiah and his wife prepared GB, a local dish made by cassava and goat soup during the afternoon hours, which the crew members ate. The victims were initially rushed to Boyi Clinic, a nearby health facility, but staff there could not solve their problems, so they were subsequently taken to Jackson Fairdoe Memorial Hospital, where they were currently receiving medical attention. According to eyewitnesses' accounts, following the evening meal, the crew members began experiencing stomach pain, which some of them consider ordinary illness. Sources narrated that Josiah and his family prepared the food only for the workers without eating any themselves. An unidentified lady is said to have assisted the wife in cooking the meal. Following the incident, local authorities in the district assembled in Jopa town and invited Josiah and his family for questioning, during which his daughter allegedly confessed that they had found a dead goat earlier on the farm but have no knowledge of what killed the animal. Some family members told them not to eat the goat nor prepare it for the crew members that were expected to work for them, but they seem to have ignored the advice. This paper also gathered that after intervention by local authorities in the district, officers of the Liberia National Police in Tapata arrested Josiah and detained him, pending thorough investigation. Reports say after the communal farmers ate the GB, Josiah and his family also cooked rice for them in the evening hours, which they ate with the remaining goat soup. This is how we close down on the new down paper. We move over to you, London Tokpa, for a headline in the news in details as it relates to Independent Pro.
All right, thank you for such a beautiful coordination. So the Independent Prop newspaper, we are government show educators for Turkish economic and military rewards. We are government show educators for Turkish economic and military reward. It has been more than a year since activity at the Turkish Light International School located at AFE Shortcut Monrovia came to an abrupt halt after state security rounded up the school Turkish staff and their families and deported them on the same day that they were picked up. At 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, April 21, 2022, parents of Turkish Light International School were called to an emergency meeting only to receive the breaking news from few ranking Liberian staff of the school. Those parents were simply told that their school's Turkish administrator had been deported without any reasonable explanation. Up to the present time, officials of the Dosbia-led government have remained tight-lipped on the issues. The sources say that the abrupt deportation was the result of seemingly diplomatic overtures from a beautiful coordination again.
Thank you, Kaylin Dontokwa, for our news for today, especially the headlines and the news in details. So, thanks for watching. Let me first notify my viewers. Andy Buklejada, he's watching live from Clarendon and Bushwa Alley. And then Shadrach Nori, I'm watching from Iron Factory Community, New Georgia Township. It's Amos Tamba. Good morning, Team Focus, following from Beer Factory in this heavy jam traffic. Thanks for the regular updates. Thanks to all of our viewers watching, and even if you did not comment in our comment sections, we appreciate your kind gesture of always wanting to be a contact with information. Remember, these newspapers are on sale for an affordable price. We have prices ranging from 40 Liberian dollars. We have another segment for 50 Liberian dollars. We encourage you to please get a newspaper of our country, know the happenings of our country, and be acquainted with information as it relates to our country. We bring the news to you, we bring the top stories to you. We cannot bring all of the stories trending within Liberia to you. Only the top stories, along with the headlines and the news in details. So we take a short break. When we get back, I will be your presenter as always, Greg Finansipa, on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. With that being said, please stay with me as we'll be right back with our international news. Our sources for today is the ABC News and the ABC News, just the ABC News we bring to you today. So we take a short break. When we get back, we proceed with our international news. With that, welcome back again, folks. We are broadcasting live here on Focal Online TV along the Japanese Highway. Remember, Focal Online TV brings innovation to broadcasting. I'm so excited this morning as we will be gearing towards 176 years as a country. And it brings a lot of joy to me. And I'm grateful to God for the peace we have within our country, Liberia. I'm here with my co presenter, and for today, my name is Greg Finansipa. I'm serving as the presenter on the daily edition of Inside Your Print Media. I'm back again with my co-presenter. His name is
Okay, Lyndon Tupac.
Lyndon Soka is my co-presenter. So we will quickly run into our international news. Our source, ABC News. The headlines. Human remains found in 3 separate suitcases in Florida, police say. Human remains found in 3 separate suitcases in Florida, police say. The remains are of women believed to be between 35 to 55 years of age. Human remains were found inside 3 separate suitcases on Friday in Florida, according to law enforcement officers and officials seeking information related to the gruesome discovery. The Detroit Beach Police Department responded to a 911 call from a person who said they saw something strange in the intracoastal waterway, police said. Detectives discovered a suitcase that had humans inside, according to Detroit Beach Police Department. The remains that of a white or Hispanic middle-aged woman with brown hair and approximately 4.5 feet tall, according to a statement from police. Shortly after discovering the remains, police discovered additional human remains inside 2 other suitcases near the intracoastal waterway. The remains in all 3 suitcases are that of the same woman, according to the police. We now move over to another headline under the ABC News. Obama's family chef found dead in pond on Martha's Vineyard, police say. Obama's family chef found dead in pond on Martha's Vineyard, police say. Massachusetts officials are investigating the incident. The body of a missing paddleboarder recovered from a pond in Martha's Vineyard on Monday morning was an employee of former President Barack Obama, the Massachusetts State Police said. Divers from the MSP Underwater Recovery Unit retrieved the body of 45-year-old Stafford Campbell at Elkhorn Great Pond. Tafari was a beloved part of our family when we first met him. He was a talented chef at the White House, creative and passionate about food and its ability to bring people together, President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama said in a statement. In the years that followed, we got to know him as a warm, fun, extraordinary kind person who made all of our lives a little brighter. Visiting Martha, visiting Martha Vineyard at the time of his death, police said the Obamas were not at home when the incident occurred, according to MSP. The victim body was located by Massachusetts environmental police officer, according to MSP. The underwater recover the underwater recovery unit retrieved the victim's body about 100 feet from the shore and 8 feet underwater, according to the state police. They ended by saying, "He's been part of our lives ever since, and our hearts are broken that he's gone. Today we join everyone who knew and loved Safari, especially his wife Sharis and their twin boys, Akshover and Savin, in grieving the loss of a truly wonderful man." This is how we close and we run down on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Thanks for watching. Happy pre-Independence Day to all of our Liberians here in Liberia and out of Liberia. Remember, this is the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and it's being run from Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. I am your presenter, Craig Financy Park, here with my co-presenter,
K. Lyndon Chopa.
here, Lyndon Sopa. We join our voices, we blend our voices to say happy pre-Independence Day and thanks to God for allowing us to see tomorrow as we celebrate 176 years as a country. May God bless our mother's land. Liberia will rise again. Thanks for watching. This is the daily edition of Inside the Print Media.